Hello and welcome to day, welcome to day 19 of my 21 days of sharing around ceremony and ritual. And today I said I would talk about ceremony that you might be able to do tomorrow at the summer solstice. And again, I emphasize that the summer solstice is in the northern hemisphere. And for all of my friends in Australia, I am so sorry, I'm only talking about the summer solstice, but you're very much included. We'll get to the winter solstice and then it'll be the summer with you. Anyway, so a ceremony tomorrow. So this is a turning point in the year. The longest day of daylight, the shortest of the dark. So what can you do for yourself to celebrate you? So we talked about the exercise you could do and looking at all that you've achieved this year and celebrating that, and perhaps then contemplating what you might like to take forward. So the other thing that I think is really important, if you've set an altar up, go to your altar. Actually acknowledge that you are going to do some sort of ceremony. You could even start by having a shower, doing a sort of cleansing, purification routine. You could use some smudge, some incense, and then put on something that feels special. So now we're talking about a ceremony that you can do for yourself, certainly if you're at home and can't get out. So what I also suggest is, when you go to your altar, and we talked about the 5 elements, 4 main ones: earth, air, fire and water. So invite those in. Work with those elements as well, and invite all those parts of yourself, all the bits that don't get acknowledged. You know, you are good people. You do amazing things. You're generous, you're kind, you're compassionate. And often, you, me, we don't acknowledge that in ourselves. We don't honor that in ourselves. We often focus on the bits that we don't like, the hurt bits, the wounded bits, the critical voice, the not enough. Bring it all tomorrow, but especially those bits that you're proud of. You know, the good that you do, the kindness that you show, the compassion that you give towards other people, and give some of that to yourself tomorrow. So, and then you can design it and tailor it in whatever way you fancy. You can simply sit at your altar and send out a prayer, give thanks, set an intention. You can make it as elaborate or as simple as possible. You might even want to do a ceremony, invite friends over, share a meal together. You could even go for a walk on your own. Just take that time for yourself. So anything that appeals to you, and I will share with you tomorrow what I am going to do. So, what else? And that would be the other thing. Leave the old beliefs that no longer serve you behind. I'm just checking my notes here because, no, that's it. That would be it. And when I say call in the elements, so ask the earth to take all that you no longer want to bring with you. The earth will compost it. Ask the water to wash away your hurt, your pain, your tears, your hardships. Ask the air to breathe through and with the wind blast away all the cobwebs, all that you do not want. And the fire, the great transmutator. Ask the fire to burn away. So what you can also do, so say for instance now you're going to have a ceremony that maybe isn't just for you and you alone. You can invite friends round, or you can gather somewhere where you can light a fire. Because the fire is represented by the sun. And tomorrow is all about giving thanks to the sun. It's giving thanks to everything, but especially the sun, as it is the longest day of sunlight. So the fire symbolises that. So what can you do with a fire? You can gather people around a fire. You could even have a fire that you could jump over to symbolise you stepping through the fire so as to release, transmute and transcend all that you do not want. You can gather around a fire and tell stories. There's so many myths and legends about the sun and the summer solstice. Go find them, go look for them, Google them and tell those stories. You can meet with friends and tell them about the exercise that we did. You can walk the land mindfully, connecting to the earth and connecting to the sun. And even if it's not shining, as we know, it's always there. And talk to your friends about the things you've achieved, the things that you're proud of, and the things that you might hope to develop and take forward in the future. Or get up early in the morning. It would be very early actually. But get to the top of a hill and watch the sun come up. Be out all day and maybe if you're out all day, it's a long day, don't forget to take water and food with you. But see the sun come down as well. See the sunrise and the sunset, the beginning and the end, and celebrate that. And as we talked about yesterday, the transition, celebrate that as well. This is your ceremony. You could find a sacred spot, a stone circle or a sacred well, gather there. There's so many things that you can do together as a ceremony, either on your own, with friends, out in nature, and on your own or with friends. And it's always lovely at the end of all these things to share bread. If you're living on your own like I am, then share it with the birds, or share it with the earth. Go to some water, share something. And if you can't do any of that, if you have a plant pot, just share it on the earth in the earth of the plant pot. There are so many things that you can do to just make tomorrow joyful and special. And I think in the very first video I did, I said, there are no rules. It's only what brings you joy and happiness. Also, it can be a time to remember our loved ones who are not with us. I always make a point of saying this because sometimes we're not all feeling joyful. We're not all feeling the joy and the brightness and the light of the sun. Take that time as well for your sorrows and your sadness and acknowledge them and celebrate those if you can. Tomorrow is a day of gratitude, and I know a lot of us have been through very hard times, but maybe within all that hard times, you can find some things that you find pleasurable and enjoyable. And maybe tomorrow, just set the intention that tomorrow you will find joy for yourself. You will have something to celebrate, and you will create a ceremony for you. I'm going to sound like something like Marks and Spencer's now, because you honestly do deserve it. You're amazing people, and I am so grateful to each and every one of you that has responded to my videos. You'll be glad there's only 2 days left. Anyway, tomorrow I will share what I do. I'm not even quite sure yet what I'm going to do, but I'm going to inspire myself tomorrow morning. Anyway, love to you all. Have a blessed day wherever you are, and thank you.